Hello my friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. It is yet another busy day here up at production at Creekside Nursery in Dallas, North Carolina. For my faithful followers, hello. I've been out for 3 days. You have been with Jerry, so I am picking up where the production section left off with him. Very busy day. Going to show you the wall is completed. We are getting the forms for the concrete. Fun day. Also, very hot day here in North Carolina. This is the first of the hottest days for the heat dome. Now let me tell you, it has been hot already here in North Carolina. And so we are like doing record-breaking temperatures for today and the next 3 or 4 days. We're talking about 99 degrees as far as the temperature. The dew point, my friends, is already in the mid-70s. So the feel-like temperature is way higher and it is thick. Also, no makeup. It is too hot to wear makeup because it's just gonna slide right off my face. So without further ado, let's get talking about what is happening here with all of the action at Creekside Nursery. First things first, the wall, it is completed. That retaining wall they got finished last night, probably around, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or so. Isn't it a beaut? I tell you. Now this is absolutely a functional, necessary wall because it is going to hold back the corner of the building. And so what the guys are doing right now is laying down some gravel because we are blessed with red clay soil. And if you know red clay, if it rains and that splatters, you are not going to get that red clay off of this gray wall. So not that it's calling for some rain, it could. That's the bad thing. We're not calling for rain, but you never know when a thunderstorm might pop up. So Jerry wants to go ahead and lay down the gravel just to protect it. So we're gonna have gravel between the wall and the sidewalk. So Will has just learned how to use the cat. Jerry said yesterday was the first day of him on it. So we're having a little tutorial session. He is doing great. Very impressed so far with that. It just takes some practice. And then the soil that you see here, what I believe is that's just gonna get spread out right here. Of course, it is a complete construction zone and we will, well, we got a long ways to go, my friend. So with this wall, you will see that we have got a French drain that is popping out here at the bottom. Corrugated pipe has the sock on it so it doesn't get clogged up. And that is running along the length of the wall. Now, we have got floor images here. They are a local business, some friends of ours, not only friends and customers of ours, but they are here doing the concrete work for us. So Gary had to step away just a little bit to go do another project. But if you are within basically an hour and a half from Dallas, then they absolutely can service you with anything that you need concrete related. So they do stamps, they do pouring, they do concrete walls. They're not gonna lay the block like what we had done with the retaining wall, but if you need any kind of concrete services, they would love to help you, and you can call that phone number that I just showed you. So they are here today. They're just now kind of really starting to lay down some forms. And so obviously when you have concrete, you've got to form it. You've got to tell it where to go, otherwise it'll run slap off. So the idea with the wall is that we're gonna have, of course, the concrete pad is going to be, in the building, clearly, right? Then you come over here and outside of the building, there's gonna be this little apron of concrete. And so it's going to have a little bit of a shed, so I mean a slope, right? So it is going to slope away from the building, and it will, as far as I understand it, go right on top of the caps of the wall. So that way, from the edge of the building all the way over will be concrete. So you're not gonna have any of this soil. That's why it was so important to have this wall, because it's shoring up this corner of the building so that it does not collapse, because heaven knows you don't want that to happen. Right now, what they are doing is, of course, putting in the forms for the main pad here in the building. Jerry was here yesterday with Jackson. If you can see those white paint marks on the ground, that is kind of, as far as I understand it, part of the footprint of the new potting machine. So the dashes in the middle, those 3 little dots, it's the center of the potting machine. So that's where the potting machine is going to sit. And then I don't remember now, I think it goes to the length of where the little dash marks are, if I am remembering that correctly. Now, so they are forming it all. They've got their wood, getting it in there, getting the spikes in, and getting it all snugged in and ready for that concrete. So real time, to give you a time frame reference, today is Thursday, and so they are here framing. They're going to get everything framed today, and then they're going to come back on Monday and pour the pad. Because of their scheduling and trying to do multiple jobs at different times, Gary said they might come back on Wednesday and then pour the sidewalks and the little roads, that kind of thing. But definitely getting the pad done, because we have to have the pad ready for the potting machine. That is that's the time crunch, because not only do you have to have the concrete poured, but you have to let it cure, right, before you bring equipment in here. And heaven knows that we are going to be bringing some heavy equipment with the potting machine in here. So I believe, last I heard, that the potting machine is going to, I think, be delivered like the 31st, so the very end of the month. So this is good time. We're at the 1st of the month. We've got a couple of weeks for that concrete to get cured, so we are good. The sidewalks and that kind of stuff, not a problem. A couple of days is not going to mess up anything, and we'll just stay off of it until we need to. Then, I'm sure Jerry has gone through all of this with you as far as the building. I have one request with this building. We have talked about this before, and let's go into a little bit further detail on that, because I was talking with Josh, who is building the building and did the retaining wall. So I put in my request for my one thing that I want for this building. We've talked about this before, but on the right side of the building, between the building and the silo, this is where I want to have a little outdoor area. So everybody is game, so we are good to go on that. So what we're going to do is build like an open air but covered side shed. And I wouldn't even call it a shed, but so we'll have, and I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we'll have a roof that instead of shedding towards this way, it's going to go this way. And then underneath, of course, we'll have the beams and all of that stuff to hold everything in, but it is going to be open. So the only wall within there will be the main wall of the potting building, right there on the left. We're going to have what I call a human door there. So just a regular door, we can go in and out of the potting building into this space. And won't have concrete out here, we'll just have gravel. That way we'll have some ceiling fans, we'll have lights, we'll have electricity out here, and picnic tables. That way when we're up here working, when whoever's working, you can get out of the sun, go over there, sit, relax for a minute, have your lunch, whatever. So that way you're out of the heat and the sun and can still be climatized to working outside. Now, as we have talked about before, this silo, my goodness, I asked y'all what you think we should do with this, and you overwhelmingly said absolutely leave it. I don't think there was one person that said to take this down. So for those of you that missed that episode, my daddy was a pig farmer. When I was growing up, he raised hogs and he farmed the land to grow the feed for the hogs. This silo is the last silo standing. He actually had, I think, 3 of them here, and so he got out of pigs when I was in college, and he, I think, either sold the other 2 silos or scrap metal, I don't remember, but he kept this one. Has not been used for years. Fun fact, Jerry and I, with our friend Terry, put this thing together when we were in high school. Like, I was in high school. Jerry's 6 years older than I am, so he was in college. But we put this thing together. Daddy hired myself, Jerry, and Terry to put it together. So there's a lot of like memories with this. And so I think just about everybody was like, well, definitely everybody said keep it. And then you were like, you ought to put your logo up there. So it's not going anywhere, my friends. So the silo stays, but we do have another little situation we got to take care of in order to make my little covered outdoor area work just perfectly. As we always say, nothing is flat here at Creekside, and you can see that there is quite an elevation difference between where the silo is sitting and then where essentially I want to put the picnic tables. And you can see that it has been cut out, all that exposed red clay. So talking to Josh yesterday, and we will be putting in a retaining wall in this space, and that is simply just to keep back the soil so that it doesn't, you know, wash out, because again, North Carolina, we're known for some heavy rains, especially in the winter. And this is going to be the perfect little waterfall area for water to run off, run down right here and onto the pad. So there will be a retaining wall, same block that we used with the other one. Josh said he would like to get this done sooner rather than later. So there you go. All I cared about was getting my little covered area right here. Sorry about that. I don't know what the camera just did. When I tell you it's hot, and the camera got hot, and so it flipped around. So what we're going to do is I am going to let these fellas work. Not that I'm in their way, but I'm going to let them work. I'm going to let my guys work with the gravel. I have done all my watering, and so I'm going to go back to the house in the air conditioning. This is a great day for me to do laundry and vacuuming and some business work inside in the air conditioning. The poor camera, she's done. I'll see you back here in a minute. I'm going to show you what it all looks like at the end of the day. It is 3:30 in the afternoon, and the guys have got everything framed in, and now they are working on grading. I am going to move over here into the shade because it is 99 degrees and the camera does not like being in the sun. So they have got, as you can see, all the boards down nice and framed in. And yeah, so the concrete will come to the very tippy top of the board and go all the way down. You can see it's nice and in line with the wall down there. So Gary is in the machine getting everything graded. So that way, I'm not sure, I needed to ask before I got up here. We'll talk about it when they actually are pouring the concrete. If the inside is going to be level, I know that the outside kind of apron, the skirt, is going to be at a slope. So it'll have an angle to it so that it sheds away from the machine. But yeah, so there we go, getting everything in. Now, of course, like I said, they are only framing in the interior pad, and then once that concrete's poured, then they're going to come back in the next day or two after that and then frame in, because we'll have like a sidewalk going in somewhere around here. It may be down here. I don't remember now where it was, but it's going to be down here. And then, of course, down further, look at all that pretty gravel. Doesn't that look good? Got the gravel, got the wall looking great. So then from the potting shed, building, we're gonna have another nice wide sidewalk that will come down and connect. So this is not accurate, y'all, but just to kind of give you an idea of kind of the curvature of it. So it'll be a curved one, and then it will come on up to all the way. So that way, of course, as you know, you followed us enough to know that we use all of the rolling racks to have the plants on. So whether when they're potted up, that's what we use them for. And of course, when we're picking the orders to take them up to the annex and get them shipped out. So everything has to be on, have some concrete because we do not have pneumatic tires. These are just, they don't like concrete, my friends. So they are just like a grocery cart kind of wheel to it. We could have pneumatic tires, I guess, I don't know. But we just chose to go this route. But these guys, my gosh, they've been out here since 7 o'clock this morning. Like I said, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. And I'm just glad that we're able to offer them some shade here with the building and that they're not out in the full exposed sun, because y'all, even in the shade, it is just nasty. So back here on the back side, this is where the soil hopper is going to go. Again, I don't know exactly where all that's gonna be played out, and so we're gonna figure that out all together. We do have a blueprint of the potting machine, the conveyors, the water table, all the things, because this thing, y'all, it has got the bells and the whistles. Creekside has come such a long way, and there are some of you that have been with us since we were potting plants on the wagons in the barn at the retail garden center. And to say that we now have, or are going to have, a building solely dedicated to potting with a hopper outside that holds the soil and shoots it in on a conveyor belt. Then we're gonna have, of course, the conveyors that feed the trays and the pots in to the machine. Then they come out, they're gonna have little air jets to blow off all the extra soil off of the trays, which heaven knows you would not, well, maybe you do because you've been seeing it, how much soil will stick onto those trays. And every little ounce of soil, well, that's just dollar signs, my friends. So we're trying to be efficient here. And then it goes through the little water table and they'll get watered in. Oh my gosh, it is going to be amazing. So yeah, Creekside has come a long way. And my friends, it would not be possible without you, because if you're not buying our plants, we can't grow more and we can't do these things. So truly, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your love and support. But it is just, y'all, I don't have to tell you. So like I said, it's Thursday, so it's day 1 of the 4 days of 99 degrees. The actual temperature, and then the feel like temperature is like 109 right now. The dew point is actually has gone down today. It's now at 69 instead of 74 this morning. Our thermostat at the house, like, it'll read the outside temperature. Now it is in the afternoon sun. It was reading 109, and I'm like, yep, that's what it feels like. So anyway, so they have been hard at work today. Super, super grateful. Cannot wait to see what this beautiful concrete is going to look like when they come and pour it on Monday. You're going to join us along for the ride. As always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day. Thanks for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.